Livdahl is a doctor who develops a Botox knockoff and distributes it to more than 200 physicians nationwide. But his get-rich-quick scheme collapses when 4 people nearly die of botulism poisoning.
Many of these women have relationships with narcos, people who are dedicated to drug trafficking. And they are the ones who finance or pay for the surgeries.
August, the 18-year-old, who had always been self-conscious about her body, went to this office-based surgical center in Greenwood Village for a $6,000 breast augmentation.
To us, it felt safe. We didn't think that anything like this was going to happen to our daughter.
But according to this newly filed lawsuit, after being given anesthesia, Emmeline was left unattended for 15 minutes before a nurse noticed she was turning blue.
The whole goal basically is to get that great shot, that twerking shot.
This is a little tricky because what to do about foreign material that's injected into the body. So let's go and see what the options are, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, very good. All right, let's go.
Call me Dr. Miami. I'm a plastic surgeon, and I make people feel better about their bodies.
I wanted more of a slimmer waistline and a more of a bubble-shaped butt.
If you go on social media, who do people like get more likes? Jennifer Lopez, Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B. We started looking at perfect bodies. We knew what, people like and how to get people's attention, and it was time to go in under the knife.
Our reporting uncovered a pattern of high-volume surgical centers that appear to be putting profits ahead of patient safety.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm back with another anti-capitalism true crime deep dive video. Today I'm going to be doing the pure evil, the plastic surgery industry files, the cosmetic surgery industry files, a deep dive into this, capitalism, true crime, etc. All my YouTube videos related to this topic will be linked down below in the YouTube video description down below for more, as well as on the screen right now. Disclaimer, I'm not against plastic surgery or people who want to do it and get plastic surgery. I don't have a problem with people getting plastic surgery at all. If you want to get plastic surgery, get plastic surgery. I'm just calling out the capitalism industry as a whole, showing the facts and scientific statistics behind and research behind the topic. Research reports that in 2019, the cosmetic aesthetic industry is worth $2 billion globally, with that figure set to rise over the coming years. Never has the perfect symmetrical golden ratio face been more popular among individuals in the UK or in the United States, etc., and in other countries, and with the endless scroll of flawless Instagram selfies, it is difficult to tell what's real, cosmetic or just a little bit of Facetune. Beauty clinics and the capitalism profit-driven industry preying on women's insecurities and contributing to the rise of cosmetic aesthetic procedures. Complicit in an industry built on the exploitation of people's insecurities. Greed-driven plastic surgeons putting profits over patients are behaving more like social media star influencers than doctors, their own whistleblowing colleagues warn. The whistleblowers describing a worrying deterioration of standards and erosion of trust in the community, driven by greed and ego, where the patient becomes a commodity to be exploited. The rise of the plastic surgeon entrepreneur and the growing influence of social media self-promotion has triggered a shift away from patient-centered care to outcomes that favor surgeons. Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, etc. social media sites were given audiences unprecedented access to the world of plastic surgery. We could watch surgeons operating in real time, see before and after shots of their patients. One such surgeon that went viral was Dr. Miami. He was a huge example of this. And the sales tactics plastic surgeons use. They post highly sexualized images of your patients showcasing their newly acquired breast implants on the beach, in bed, at the gym, or in the shower. One such person who worked in this industry had claimed this. This was no celebration of the diversity of the female shape or body. This was a fetishization of one particular body type. Big-breasted, long-limbed, cellulite-free perfection, the sort obtained with the help of a surgeon's scalpel, a fact not lost, but rather reinforced by the use of hashtags. The worker in question had said they found themselves posting images of toned butts and tummies and asking followers on the company's social media platforms whether they had stubborn diet, and exercise-resistant fat, low-key hinting that liposuction may be the answer and the key to this. And the answer, They was told the thigh gap was in and how they should do a post on that on the social media platform, as though having fat suctioned from a inner thigh was a key to buying the latest fashion accessory. Britain's unregulated plastic surgery industry, targeting children and causing mental health problems. The largely unregulated British cosmetic surgery industry is a cause for serious concern, especially for children targeted by advertising and online plastic surgery games. Health experts have warned. A new report from the Nuttenfield Council of Bioethics highlights increasing concerns over anxiety related to unachievable appearance ideals, with young people and teens said to be bombarded on social media by promotion of breast implants, BBLs, nose jobs, and non-surgical procedures such as Botox, lip filler, laser hair removal, etc. The report urged app stores to better regulate makeover apps and online plastic surgery games aimed at children as young as 9, with names like Plastic Surgery Princess, Little Skin Doctor, and Pimp My Face. Such games and advertising on social media may be contributing to an epidemic of mental health problems among young people, fueled by the relentless promotion of unrealistic and often discriminatory messages on how people, especially girls and women, should look. Studies by Tilmann von Soest and colleagues at Norwegian Social Research who looked at younger women's mental health before and after plastic surgery. About 7% of the Norwegian women between the ages of 18 and 65 years old have undergone cosmetic surgery. According to the Statistics Norway, they found that girls who decide to undergo cosmetic surgery are on average more depressed and anxious than those who do not. They are also more prone to suicide. Getting plastic surgery to improve one's appearance might seem like a quick fix and efficient remedy, but when the lives fail to improve, their mental health problems might worsen or deteriorate, perhaps because of disappointment. In 2003 study, Finnish researchers looked at the causes of death among women with breast implants and found there was an access to suicide in their sample. People with an addiction to cosmetic surgery may wish to continuously alter their appearance. They may undergo many cosmetic procedures, but the results will not satisfy them. Addiction to cosmetic surgery may stem from a psychological disorder such as body dysmorphic disorder. According to a 2020 review examining cosmetic surgery addiction in South Korea, there is a link between seeking out cosmetic surgery and a person's body image, self-esteem, psychological factors, and individual tendencies. Plastic surgery capitalist companies under fire for tempting people into unneeded surgery. Companies offer interest-free loans and loyalty cards to people who undergo plastic surgery. 2 years ago, BAAPS launched its own poster campaign featuring a giant scalpel to counter the effects of irresponsible marketing. The numbers of Britons seeking cosmetic plastic surgery has more than tripled in the past 8 years, and as competition rises and grows and increases, many providers are resorting to the sort of marketing ploys used by high street stores and catalog firms to win custom. Interest-free loans, gift vouchers, loyalty cards, and promotional discounts are among the incentives offered by almost all of the biggest firms to minimize the financial barriers and help to project the image of surgery as a routine lifestyle choice. If you've been thinking about cosmetic surgery or plastic surgery, make it your New Year's resolution at BMI Healthcare, says the blurb from the company that describes itself as the UK's #1 private hospital group, offering a 12-month interest-free period for cosmetic surgery clients who book before the end of June and use the BMI credit card, which allows people aged 18 or older to borrow up to £20,000 to fund any of its medical procedures. Problematic stuff, a potential risk from cosmetic surgery addiction, is developing a co-occurring drug addiction. Many people may require pain medications following surgery, post-operative pain. These may include prescription opioids after plastic surgery, which may lead to an opioid drug addiction. $5,000 plus quest for the perfect booty. How the Brazilian butt lift, one of the world's most dangerous plastic surgery procedures, went mainstream, and also butt implants trend as well. The BBL aesthetic and butt implant aesthetic of the early 2010s and the present day, however, is most often associated with Instagram star influencers and celebrities whose bodies exist to be consumed by the most people possible. Some examples of this are Instagram influencers and celebrities such as Nicki Minaj, Brittanya Ravazi, Winter Blanco, Jailyne OJeda, Iggy Azalea, Christina Aguilera, and Cardi B are just some of the examples of the BBL and butt implant trend. The platforms that provided the foundation for the rise of influencers are also the reason why the BBL trend has penetrated the mainstream media and has went viral. Al Jazeera's Fault Lines released a 25-minute documentary covering the deadly consequences of the Brazilian butt lift, aka the BBL surgery industry in Miami, Florida, where some 92% of the state's BBL-related deaths reportedly occur, revealing a pattern of surgeons engaging in unsafe practices and lobbying lawmakers to allow them to continue doing so, putting capitalism profits over lives every day. Since 2015, 21 women have died in Florida during or after a Brazilian butt lift surgery, a procedure professionally known as gluteal fat grafting. The BBL was not common practice in the United States. Its origins, as its name suggests, are in Brazil, where cosmetic surgery has a storied background, largely due to the country's history of eugenics. In 1918, a doctor who founded the Eugenics Society of San Paulo, which aimed to erase all signs of black and indigenous physical appearances in Brazil. And in 1960, a surgeon named Ivo Pingangai founded the world's first plastic surgery training center in Brazil, where he pioneered what would become known as the Brazilian butt lift surgery and taught surgeons all over the world and all over the globe how to perform his techniques. The idea that a certain body type can be considered trendy at all, of course, has a history that has always been tied and latent with classism, racism, and sexism. And it's easy to argue that the media only began to celebrate big butts when it became financially beneficial to do so. South Florida quickly emerged as the plastic surgery capital of America, in part because of its huge Latin population and the fact that Floridans can comfortably wear bikinis year-round because of the warm climate. Kayla is one of the thousands of women who've flown to South Florida, or Turkey, or Mexico, or Thailand, etc., or overseas in general, for questionably cheap operations. A plastic surgery, where a complex multi-hour surgery not covered by health insurance can run as low as $3,000, though most clinics advertise BBL packages for around $5,500, not including aftercare, which can double the cost. These procedures often take place in small clinics and shady-ass strip malls where doctors who might have been trained as dermatologists, aka skin doctors, or pediatricians are legally allowed to advertise themselves as board-certified physicians, even though the extent of the plastic surgery training might have consisted of a single weekend course. To make up for the high cost of running an operating room, they squeeze in as many as 8 patients every single day. BBL deaths have for the most part occurred because of improper technique. The problem with inserting fat into the buttocks area is that your butt contains a lot of very large blood vessels and arteries as big as drinking straws. One doctor put it, which if accidentally injected with fat can result in fat traveling to the lungs and causing a deadly pulmonary embolism. These issues are compounded when doctors are pumping out clients as fast as they can. A single plastic surgery clinic 8 women died over the course of 6 years, 7 of them working-class, Black, and Latino women who reportedly were targets of the clinic's advertising campaigns. For many women to achieve their desired look, they must come back for 2 to 3 procedures. What's more, not all of the fat inserted into the butt will stay alive. It's a common complaint among BBL patients to fall in love with their post-surgery butt only to watch it shrink over the next few months. Aftercare guidance depends on the patient's existing body type, but all of them must wear a faja, a corset-like garment that keeps the body shape in place, and sitting requires a special pillow to sit on. To help with circulation, patients must schedule regular post-op massages, which are often painful. Peeing, by the way, is its own hurdle. I've seen people where they'll keep the garment on while they go to the bathroom. They'll literally just pee all over themselves and live like that. One of the people had said who witnessed someone who had a BBL. When it comes to traveling to get plastic surgery, how a trip to Mexico for cosmetic surgery turned deadly. The CDC warns against such medical tourism, saying infection and post-procedure complications are possible depending on the destination and facility. In early 2020, Americans could on average save up to 40% to 60% by having a major surgery done in Mexico, according to a report from the consumer watchdog Patients Beyond Borders. These figures have only increased amid U.S. inflation and spiraling insurance company deductibles, copays, and exclusions. At least 6 people who underwent cosmetic procedures such as liposuction and breast augmentation in Mexico have been killed as a result of a fungal meningitis outbreak. Some true crime cases involving plastic surgery industry. Fake Botox shots left 4 paralyzed, says FDA. 4 people paralyzed by botulism were injected with large doses of a raw, unapproved botulism toxin that their anti-wrinkle treatment clinic had brought from a California laboratory. Federal documents show the suspected doctor who administered the shots, Batch McComb, used the material as if it were lower-strength Botox. Botulism poisoning is fatal in about 10% of cases. It usually paralyzes the victims from the head down for several months until affected nerve endings regrow. 19-year-old victim of capitalism dies after botched breast enhancement surgery left her in a coma for 14 months. A famous case that surfaced online about plastic surgery was the true crime case of Emmeline Nguyen, who lived in a permanent semi-conscious vegetable state since her surgery in August 2019 until her death on October 4th. While she was in the hospital, her parents sued 2 of the doctors who allegedly administered anesthesia before the surgery. Plastic surgeon Dr. Godfrey Kim and nurse anesthesiologist Rex Meeker for gross negligence. The parents alleged that in the lawsuit that the doctors left her unobserved for 15 minutes after they administered the anesthesia, during which time she went into cardiac arrest and stopped breathing. The staff at the Kim's Plastic Surgery Clinic Center allegedly performed CPR on her twice and waited 5.5 hours before calling 911. Her parents were not immediately told their daughter had gone into cardiac arrest, a lawyer alleged. It is incomprehensible that a team of medical professionals and doctors, including a plastic surgeon, a nurse anesthesiologist, and multiple nurses, would not call 911 for 5.5 hours after performing CPR on their patient who had gone into cardiac arrest twice. After the whole situation, required constant care around the clock, including a permanent feeding tube after her brain injury, the lawsuit stated, and was facing permanent mental and physical impairment. She had been living in a nursing home for the last few months while in a coma and recently developed pneumonia, which set her into cardiac arrest. South Korea today, the nation hosts the world's highest number of plastic surgery procedures per capita. Around 1 in 5 South Korean women have got work done, according to the International Society of Aesthetic Plastic Surgeons. That number climbs to 1 in 2 among 20-something women in Seoul, South Korea. Gangnam, so-called beauty belt, contains 400 to 500 cosmetic surgery center clinics in a single square mile, catering both to locals and to foreign medical tourists. South Korea's dangerous ghost doctors are putting plastic surgery patients' lives at risk. The practice is illegal in South Korea, but activists say weak regulations in the country's booming $10.7 billion plastic surgery industry have allowed factory-like clinics where unqualified staff substitute for surgeons to thrive. Doctors sometimes simultaneously conduct multiple operations, meaning they rely on substitutes who may be freshly qualified plastic surgeons, dentists, nurses, or in some cases, medical equipment salespeople to undertake some of the work for them. The deadly impact of OnlyFans and the porn industry as a whole. Plastic surgeon warns how X-rated website is pushing more women to undergo dangerous over-the-top procedures in a desperate attempt to turn unrealistic online fantasy into a reality. With this marketing becomes increasingly saturated, more people are looking for a point of difference to set them apart from crowd, with some turning to extreme plastic surgery procedures to give them larger breasts, lips, and even designer vaginas. Another true crime case is women are dying for the Narco Wife Body in the state of Sinaloa, home to the infamous drug trafficking cartel. Women are risking everything for a body type glorified in narco culture. Bocha is a local word that for decades has been used to describe the woman romantically involved with narcos, but the term has come to signify the bodies so many women here inspire for the status and association that it implies. Big busts and big butts, combined with a tiny waist that are achievable only via surgery. The point isn't to be a narco or look like one. For many Solonian women, their life focuses is to marry a narco because of what it implies, the lifestyle, clothes, house, cars, etc. Paulina Ramirez Garcia was rolled into the surgery for a mini liposuction procedure in the city of Chilican. She knew exactly the look she was going for. She thought she was sucking some fat out of her tummy and using it to accentuate her hips and buttocks would help her to achieve the look. Convoted by women interstate and exemplified by famous role models such as Emma Cortano, the wife of legendary narco kingpin Josenian El Chapo Guzman, but Ramirez Garcia's procedure didn't turn out the way she planned. Soon after her $2,000 surgery in March, she, who was 26, went into septic shock and had to be rushed to the hospital. During the lipo, the doctor perforated her internal organs 6 times, including her lungs and intestines, according to the authorities and her family members. It turned out the doctor who performed the procedure was not qualified to be a plastic surgeon, but rather a general practitioner, according to the state prosecutor. In another case, a TikTok famous plastic surgeon had her medical license suspended after allegations of botched surgeries and privacy violations surfaced. Dr. Karen Roxanne Garvey, also known as Dr. Roxy on the popular social media platform TikTok, has been accused of breaching patient privacy and caring more about her online following and social media accounts than her patients on the operating table. She's amassed more than 842,000 followers on TikTok, where she regularly posts clips of herself dancing in scrubs and interacting with live stream viewers during operations, but her online fame has come at a hefty cost, her medical license.